Welcome. If you're a financial advisor, sales agent, have you ever had really trending content that you wanted to really say something about that you came across on social media or television or the news or the radio on the way to work, but somebody else beat you to the punch in your industry? And you thought, oh man, that was a lost opportunity. That could have been really great content. Did you know that businesses publishing timely content, they get 76% more engagement if it's relevant to what people are searching for right now? Just last week, the Federal Reserve hinted at pausing interest rates and, well, interest rate hikes. And if you missed talking about that with your clients, you missed a huge chance to connect with your audience. But don't worry, stick around to the end of today's live broadcast, and I'm going to give away a free AI-powered content calendar template that'll help you plan, post, and win with consistency so that you don't miss out on these opportunities. It's much simpler than you think. So hang in there. And if you want to see more of this content, more of the free education and learning that we put out there every day to try to help elevate financial advisors and sales agents, so then do me a favor, hit that like button, share this content if you want to hear more tips in the future, and we'll help you actually move the needle.
Welcome to the Digital Advisor Weekly Broadcast. Looking to boost your business with the latest trends, innovative tech, and must-have resources? Join us to discover how to successfully scale your practice and automate the process. Here to guide you is your host, the dynamic leader of Advisor Marketing Hub and managing partner at American Financial, Rob Sousa.
Okay, I don't know who wrote that, but I'm not sure. So sure it's dynamic, but yes, Rob Sousa here, and we are live. Should be on multiple channels with you, and we are glad that you are joining us because we're going to be covering a topic today that I think people think about in their daily lives every day as they come across trending content that evokes an emotional opinion or thought, and we're going to try and give you an opportunity to create a structure where you can share those thoughts and opinions in multiple ways as easy as possible so that we can help you become a thought leader in your industry and area of expertise. So today's focus, it's how to spot trends, but also how to capture the opportunity. And we're going to create we did create a content calendar that's going to help you do that and make it super easy to get you to stand out in a crowded market. So first, I wanted to quick share a story about a financial advisor who had watching the news in the morning. A lot of people get up, have their coffee, they watch the news. Something came across the news, and I'm not going to bring it up and make it controversial and everything else, but it was in politics, and they had a really, really strong opinion. All the way to work, she kept sending me posts about what was happening that morning that was announced, and there were immediately dozens of really funny memes that were coming out on X and TikTok and Twitter and well, X Twitter, and we were kind of laughing back and forth. It's always entertaining watching people's make memes on the internet. And my first question to her is, why didn't you get in on it? Like, you could have done the very same thing. Oh, well, I didn't have time. I was in a hurry to work. And I'm like, well, you missed an opportunity. You could have very easily sent a quick message to your VA, and they could have done overlay. They could have taken an existing funny meme, and you could have recycled that with some of your own overlay content. So, and she was really bummed that she missed that opportunity. And since then has started to change her behavior and realize it's not as hard as she thinks. And she's making huge strides and can't wait to share them with me. As soon as she posts them, she actually will either tag me or hit the forward button and send it to me. And it's been fun watching her grow. And her last post about the federal rate indication of pausing the Fed's pausing the rate hike actually hit 32,000 views in 5 days. So super excited for her. Maria, shout out to you. Very good. And we're going to fix that problem for the rest of you today too, by sharing what we learned and how you can get the same kind of results.
My agenda every morning, every hour, every evening is to know what everybody else is interested in, not to consume what I'm interested in. So every morning I look at the top 100 apps on the App Store. Every morning when I see something is 99 and then 87 and then 55, I'm like, what's Clapper? Oh, Clapper is a TikTok clone just in case TikTok gets banned in the US. Understood. Then I look at every trending topic. Then I do Google Trends. I stay curious. I'm also doing things, I'm a human being, my work life, besides operating, I'm trying to understand why Lizzo is getting popular. The data's out there. The top songs on Spotify, the most followed people, the fastest trends on who's getting followed, it's out there. When you actually put time and effort to try to understand everything, you stumble on a couple of things along the way.
I love Gary Vee. He motivates me. I try and listen to him on the way to work, if not trying to find trending topics as well. But he always has a way of pushing people to get outside their comfort zone and take advantage of these opportunities, because his famous line, social media is free advertising. So why wouldn't you take advantage of it as much as you possibly can? If we can simplify the process and make it easy for you, then you can. And so that's what we're going to talk about. But the three biggest obstacles that I hear from our students and our clients, let's talk about them. One is always hesitating too long to post. You've got to be able to create infrastructure where if you have an idea, something comes out, you can send a quick message or pre-record some templated videos where you can add overlays on top of those videos so that a VA or AI can help you with that and not wait until you have the time. Okay, the next one, over planning rigid content in advance. And I know you perfectionists, you engineers out there, you planners, you want to plan out 8 weeks worth of social media, pre-record it all in a single day, push it out to a VA, and whew, you're done. But when you do that, you fail to have the freedom and the opportunity to adapt your content to relevant subject matter. I mean, what if the big new deal that gets passed in Congress, what if you created a video that is about how to optimize your tax on Social Security? And 2 weeks from now, there is no more tax on Social Security. Then your content, if your content goes out about how to optimize tax on Social Security after the legislation passes because you pre-recorded it 2 months ago, it's gonna make you not look very relevant or in the know and on top of your content. So you've got to make sure you have flexibility in your content creation. If you want to plan ahead, but either leave spaces or add content on top. You realize you could schedule one video a day and still add, or one content social post a day, and you could add 2 more on the fly. If you don't, you have that one social media post that's going to go out. But if something relevant comes up, add a second post, add a third post. Maybe it's just one platform, depending on what form of content you're using. All right, so number 3, biggest obstacles. Not having a system to identify and act on hot topics quickly. You do need to have the technology and or a VA assistant in place, or somebody in your office that is strictly in charge of that, so that you can send a quick message and the infrastructure is there to quickly turn around a really simple piece of content that can go out quickly. Speed is everything. And the first voices to address the issues will be the most viral. So this is extremely important to act quickly on relevant news. All right. Have you ever missed a post about a big event? An example like Tesla announcing, I don't know if you've heard this or not, Tesla announced a new affordable EV launch, or a major security breach something your clients probably should know if there's a major security breach, especially if it includes financial accounts? And have you ever felt like, I had an opinion about that, but I really don't have the platform and the time to send that out either through social, email, whatever it is? If that's you, then you're in the right place today. Yes, that is right. I feel that way all the time. Thanks, Marie. I appreciate that. All right. So don't worry if you're at a place where you're like, yeah, I know. Then you're in the right place, because today we're going to show you how to fix that and put some things in place to help you with that. The solution is much easier than you think, and it's not going to take a bunch of time. And here are three. I love the number 3, if you haven't noticed. The 3 keys to timely content. We'll start first with trend awareness. Because if you're not monitoring trends, then of course you're going to miss the opportunity to respond to that trend quickly. So it's really important that you find a way to have some technology that's going to alert you, send you a notification. Maybe a VA can monitor it for you. But I use tools like Google Trends, where you can type in topics and it'll send you a notification every time something trending of that topic happens. It'll send you an alert, and you can set up those alerts. You can use Reddit, and you can follow financial threads, and that's quick. I also like Twitter trends, because Twitter, like if there's a fire in my neighborhood, the first place I'm going to get news about where the fire is at and is it affecting homes and am I in danger, faster than anything else, I go to Twitter, because people in real time are posting and news comes. X. How long are we all going to keep calling X Twitter? Hopefully that'll change. But Twitter's a great, even though you may not use it on a regular basis, definitely use it for alerts on trending news, especially local news too, for your area if you're a local advisor. All right. And I think of things like the California fires, Los Angeles fires. Man, you should have been on Twitter and being involved in that conversation and doing what you can to help. I think of financial issues that come up when a fire like that is happening is talking about getting information out there about how people can file their claims and how can they rebuild. Being a part of that whole conversation, again, you may not have a direct income source that you can generate from that sort of advice, but what it does is demonstrate that you are in the middle of current affairs, that you're helping, and that you care about the financial aspect of whatever situation is happening in the real news. Okay, so that's trend awareness, and you can pretty much follow trending on every platform, but there's also software out there that you can get that's AI driven that will also help you with that as well. Be flexible. What I mean by that, we talked about a little bit earlier. Just make sure that your schedule allows, and I mean your social media calendar schedule, allows for improvisational posts. And finally, use AI. I would say AI and a VA. The combination of the two right now has just absolutely changed my business. Use AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, and make sure that you generate quick, clear posts from headlines and data. Now, if you have a VA, they can actually do it for you. So if you become aware of something, looks like we have a comment from Sue. How did you manage your content creation with your virtual assistant? Did you plan and brainstorm everything in advance? Absolutely. Absolutely, Sue. Because, well, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. If you create, and this is next week's, I'm teasing next week's video. Next week, I am going to show you exactly what Sue is asking. So maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself. But there's a series of short, silent videos that are less than 30 seconds that you can create and hand to a VA as a template for them to be able to put text overlay on the top of it. And I'm going to show you an example in a second. And they can grab any one of those short 30-second video clips and quickly put text on top of it. And it becomes a relevant post that can go out within 10, 20 minutes of you becoming aware of a trending topic. So we'll get into that, but that's a great question. Okay, work smart. Can Grok or ChatGPT identify trends on social media? Absolutely, it can. I think Grok is built on open source ChatGPT, so I go straight to ChatGPT, and we actually have built a GPT to give us, by one click of a button, trending topics in our area of expertise. And so, yes, definitely I check in with ChatGPT all the time. If you build a GPT, custom GPT, and keep it for your team, your VA can also use it to identify relevant topics and then check in with you. Hey, I came up with a few ideas on trending topics today. Here are some ideas. Would you like me to post one of these? And all it takes is me saying yes, boom, it's done. That's how easy this can be. Do you want to post one of these? Yes, absolutely. Great idea. Let's do it. And it's out there. All right. So this is where timely content wins the race. And if you've heard it in business, sometimes the businesses that win are not the best service or best quality product. I think of companies like Starbucks. Everybody that I know agrees with me that Starbucks is not the best tasting coffee. But why do they dominate their market? Because they were first to market. They were the quickest, they were the fastest, and they captured the largest market share. And so speed is everything when it comes to winning in business and in marketing. You have to capture attention. If you wait a week and now there's 100,000 posts out there vying for everybody's attention, your post isn't going to go anywhere. So it's really important that speed is everything. Let's make it as easy as possible to remove the roadblocks so you can get out there quickly. All right, let me show you 5 examples of what I'm talking about so you can see real world examples from trending topics this week. And we're going to start with what I mentioned earlier, the Federal Reserve rate pause, okay? So just last week, the Federal Reserve hinted at pausing interest rate hikes. Now, this is important for all the financial industry. I don't care if you're in mortgage or you're a loan broker or financial advisor, life insurance agent. It matters. And advisors who jump on addressing this issue immediately and post means that you're going to reach the people who are emotionally triggered by the news. Because when the news comes out, people have a strong reaction, negative or positive, to the news. And if you don't catch them during that emotional reaction, if that emotional reaction, you know how fast the news cycle is, that emotional reaction is gone in maybe by the end of the day, and they wake up the next morning. And if you haven't tapped into that emotional reaction they had about that breaking news, then you're going to lose viewers because people don't care as much tomorrow as they do today when the announcement comes out. So don't wait, or you just miss the opportunity, and the relevance of what we're teaching today doesn't matter. But I want you to see, and I mentioned this earlier, how easy it is to insert your opinion into a trending. This post that I'm about to show you took no, the advisor didn't have to say anything at all. The VA took a pre-recorded video that was in the stock and then just grabbed one that she thought would work and put simple couple text overlays and pushed it out into the social media stratosphere. Let's take a look. That's it. That's it. That's how simple it is. And that was 40,000 views. So if you keep posting on social media and you get like 3 or 4 views and you keep scratching your head wondering if you're wasting your time, okay, this sort of thing, because it's trending and still has the advisor in it, 40,000 views, over 1,000 comments, and look how easy that was. It took the advisor nothing more than sending a text message to a VA who quickly put it together. And I know my producers online. Marie, how long would it take if I called you? You had the the video content, a bank of video content, and I said, hey, can you grab any sort of pre-recorded video and add some text overlays about this trending topic? How long would it take you to produce and post? See if I can get her to come on.
Just a few seconds or a few minutes, Rob.
Okay, yeah, a few minutes, absolutely. Thank you. So that's how easy this can be if you set it up properly. And again, next week, I'll show you what those videos are that you can record and bank if you have a VA that wants to do it quickly, or somebody in your office. Okay, so now if you want to become more of an authority on the breaking news and you want to build your reputation as kind of a spokesperson or a thought leader, then you can create a quick, pull your phone out, keep it in the horizontal mode, vertical mode, is selfie mode, and create a quick 45-second video and share your thoughts. I bought a clip, put it in my car so I can put my phone in a holder, and anytime I have a thought or I'm listening to the news on the way, I can hit the record button and just talk into the, well, keep looking at the road, and then talking to the camera, and I can record my thoughts. You'd be amazed what a VA can do with that and turn it into a really effective opinion video on a trending topic, and they could have it done before you even arrive at work. So let's take a look at that kind of example, and then I'll answer BuzzForm's question.
Stop what you're doing. Federal Reserve just dropped
tens of thousands of views as well. And great concept there. I don't know if anybody got misled. VAs that are on this call, you could also learn from this particular post. Notice that he put behind him, basically, he clicked on the article from CNBC and then made that his backdrop. Is he from CNBC? Was that his content published on CNBC? No, but do you see he's riding on the authority of CNBC by creating a subliminal message by putting that backdrop behind him of the actual news article? Super smart. Other people will put it in like top right-hand corner and they'll talk about the news story or a viral video that's somebody else's opinion about the story, and you give your counter opinion. All right, BuzzFeed from Hollywood. I was always told trend hopping is overrated. Boy, they were wrong. Timely content and trend hopping is not the same. I would absolutely agree with you. And I think there's two angles to look at this. Are you trying to, is the intent of posting to grow a channel, to be an influencer, to make revenue off your social media? Or in our particular case in industry, is it to build reputation and authority so that when people decide to work with you, they already see you as a thought leader? And in this industry, in our industry, the commissions that we make from providing financial services or the fees that we make from financial services can absorb the cost of social media very easily because we have high revenues from the services that we provide. So most importantly about trend, when you're posting about trends, it's really just positioning you as somebody who is staying in the know and who's going to advocate, demonstrating that you can advocate and respond to quickly what's happening in the markets and protect people's assets, investments, and savings, And when they see you constantly staying on top of it, having an opinion, having solutions, it reassures people who are considering becoming your client. So it is about reputation management and getting people to like, know, and trust you to move forward. Okay, so second example would be like, and again, I mentioned it, Tesla's affordable EV launch, which was pretty incredible because it's a $15,000 price point for a Tesla. That's pretty crazy. I didn't even hear that until I looked at trends for the week. Now, Tesla's announcement of this affordable electric vehicle, it's more than just a car. It affects energy stocks, consumer behavior, insurance policies, and creating a timely post and connecting this to your clients' portfolios shows, going back to the last question, shows that you're on top of market shifts, right? So sometimes you should take a break from giving advice and share relevant announcements that you think your audience may want to hear. Even though it may not be directly related to your service, it shows that you're on top of the current shifts and trends in the market. So let's take a look.
And this new model, or a couple of new models according to rumors, they're going to be very different. They're set to have an all-new design we've never seen before, be packed with a ton of tech, and they're set to be the most inexpensive, the most affordable Teslas we've ever gotten.
All right. And again, if you're trying to build authority and you want to add some opinion to it to make yourself a thought leader, well, then here's another version that you could do that would put you in that position.
Tesla will start paying dividends, and generous ones too, sooner than people think. And that's just my prediction, because Tesla is going to make so much cash, they're not going to know what to do with it, especially from Robotaxi and eventually Optimus. So my prediction, not financial advice, they're going to pay generous dividends by 2030, maybe before. So this guy posts Tesla cumulative revenue update, and it is absolutely exponential, right? Then Elon Musk sees it. He actually likes this chartist. And he says, as measured by cumulative free cash flow, the chart will look crazy steep in the years to come. This is the key phrase here, free cash flow, which means there's free cash that keeps adding to their cash pile. Right now, they have $37 billion in cash, and they have no debt, and they've been accumulating quarter after quarter, adding cash to their cash pile. My prediction is when they're going to start paying dividends, or maybe buy back shares, which means that your value of each share is going to be higher, is when they have maybe $100 billion in free cash flow, because that's in free cash, I mean, not just the flow, because
okay,
at that point, it's like, what are you going to do?
And everybody's going to have their own opinion about it, but it's important that you do have an opinion about it. Your clients want you to have an opinion about these things. So now, as we shift from, the Tesla trend, now let's talk about entertainment, because there's a way to even incorporate trending entertainment. Some of my best posts were when I was in Hawaii and posting about Hawaii. Why? Because there's a huge audience out there that is obsessed with vacationing in Hawaii, and so it did really well. So pivoting to other trending topics like Tesla or the Mission Impossible movie release, and this is trending all over the internet, The Final Reckoning, and it's hitting theaters. And you can tie pop culture to financial advice, and if you need help doing that, ask ChatGPT. It's super easy. How do you tie this topic into financial advice, if that's what you want to do? You also could just post what you think about the movie coming out, whether you like it or not, or whether you recommend it or you don't recommend it. Example, I typed it in to ChatGPT and I got suggestion, like Ethan Hunt's takes calculated risk. So when it's saying like what Ethan Hunt in the movie does is always calculating his risks and pushing the envelope of those risks without dying, so should your clients with their investments. So this makes your content relatable and shareable. Even though it's a surface level opinion, it still ties it back to finance if you want to do that. Now remember, you can keep it simple and add text overlay if you don't want to get on camera or don't have the time, or you can do it without and record what you want. But let's take a look at text overlay.
when that clock runs out in 72 hours. That will be your responsibility.
This will be your last chance.
Okay, so the first question I get is, wait a second, aren't there copyrights on that? And the reality is, no, because it's a commercial. And what do you think Mission Impossible is trying to do? They're trying to get their commercial to play as many times as possible on as many platforms as possible. So if I play their commercial and put some text overlays on top of it, they're going to actually thank me because it's exposing more people to wanting to go see their film. So and you notice that we just put 3 really simple text overlays. All I did was literally, and it took 2 minutes, I texted or chatted to my VA, said, can you take this video reel and can you add these 3 overlays on top of it and post it for me? So, and we'll get back to, in the next episode, the results of that because it's just posting today. Okay, number 4, cybersecurity breach. This was big all over the news. How do you incorporate that? Okay, well, a major bank recently suffered a huge cybersecurity breach, and posting timely tips to show that you're protecting your clients and their information and that you care about this issue, that you become the trusted advisor who makes people feel like this is the person that I can trust that's going to look out for my safety, my information, my security, my finances. And this is becoming a bigger and bigger concern for people and for your clients. So you don't always have to be giving advice on products or services that make you money. I've said that before. Couldn't you just be giving advice to help people? Like, hey, you need to be, cybersecurity is really important. Financial fraud is rampant. And so why not create a post here and there about how people can protect themselves? Yeah, you may not make money off of that particular service, but why not show that you care more than just the products and services you offer? So let's check out this TikTok.
What are 5 simple things that people can do to protect themselves from hackers?
Use a password manager, install an antivirus, or consult with an IT company that has cybersecurity expertise or a cybersecurity company. Use an RFID blocking wallet, and potentially, if you want to be extra safe, use a key fob that has an RFID shield. That way your key fob doesn't work outside of that shield. Be careful with the websites that you're visiting. If the browser's telling you the site looks unsafe, then it's probably unsafe. You know, if you're told otherwise, make sure who's telling you otherwise is legitimate. Be careful. I mean, just use your common sense. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. And
that's a really, if he can get tens of thousands of views, so can you. Because that's, in my opinion, a very boring social media post. But it was the content of the information. But the personality behind it was not exciting and it wasn't interesting. But the information they provided was valuable enough to get the thousands of views that it got. All right, we'll finish with this last example before we wrap up. And here's one about the inflation easing and the data that came out that's indicating that inflation is easing. That report came out this last week. That's inflation numbers show that easing, but some easing, but costs remain high in certain areas of the market. And clients want immediate advice on, should I be budgeting savings? Should I be pulling back or relaxing on my spending? Are things going to get more affordable quickly? It's something that consumers are extremely concerned about, and they want people to reassure them. They want people to give them advice. So when you share quick, clear insights that are relevant to the news that they're most concerned to, again, you become the go-to expert. And here's a TikTok to show it.
This is my theory for how the recession is going to hit in 2025 and how I'm going to try to make some monies off of it. Spoiler alert, it's lessons that we didn't learn from the 08 financial crisis. So the only context you need to understand this is that all of the risky structured debt and collateralized debt obligations that sparked the 08 crisis never stopped. If you're thinking, oh, we regulated them and it's a lot better and it won't ever get that bad again, We only regulated banks. That's why since '08, there's been a 600% increase in shadow bank institutions. That is finance companies like Affirm and Klarna, private credit unions, hedge funds. OPAC, unregulated financial players, are still trading collateralized loan obligations, except instead of bundling them off of subprime mortgages they shouldn't have been given to people, they are bundling them off of subprime auto loans, credit card debt that they shouldn't be giving to people. There's commercial real estate loans and junk rated corporate loans. And then don't forget about pay-as-you-go loans from...
Okay, and if you are a financial advisor, loan broker, and you're in the beginning of your career, you're in your 20s or 30s, don't get discouraged, because it is the advisors and brokers in their 20s and 30s that are just smashing it on social media. She's only posted, I think, 8 or 9 posts and has tens of thousands of views on almost every single one of her posts. And she's 20 something, and look how sophisticated her understanding of markets is. And I think we take for granted that our years of experience would give us the credibility to be able to speak on what's happening in today's financial markets. But the reality is our younger advisors are actually outperforming us because they're putting in more effort than we are. So there's hope for the younger advisors, and hopefully it's going to increase our competitiveness as older advisors. All right, so we're going to quickly just answer questions, and then any unanswered. So I'll, producer, if you can throw up any questions that we have. Okay, so from San Antonio, Texas, how do I know what's trending? I would encourage you to sign up for Google Trends, and then there's a trending button on almost every social platform that you can click on, and there's some other softwares that I'll introduce here in just a moment. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to blast through these here. Sandy, what about compliance delays? Yeah, that is that's a huge challenge. But with compliance, it's really important. You need to try and use AI to create every possible opinion that you could have about as many topics as possible. Put them in a document, send them to your compliance department, and get them pre-approved. Because, like the phrase, taxes are on the rise, consider Roth conversions before it's too late. You could take that, it could be pre-approved, and you could use that phrase over and over again on multiple social media posts moving forward. Create as many of those topics as you possibly can in a single document, get it pre-approved, ready to go, so that you can fire it whenever necessary. Okay, so Jared, from Chicago, how often do I post timely content? As often as you can. Now you want to mix it with the formula we taught last week, which is the 3-post formula. So that's mixing into your social media calendar educational content, which is, in my opinion, overdone by the financial industry. And then personal observation or story. That's what we're talking about today. Your personal opinion, observation, or story about trending topics would be number 2. And then number 3 would be client success stories. And it, again, doesn't have to be your clients. It can be anybody in the financial industry or any investor who has had success using similar advice to what you teach and use for your clients. That's the 3-post formula. Mix it in. And if trending topics come up that capture your interest, add it to that recipe. It's just an add-on. It's a 2nd or 3rd post that day, simply because that trending topic came up. All right, so how to, let's see, we have any other comments? I got a comment here. How do I know if there's any demand or search demand for a topic? There's a software that we use for at least for YouTube. That's called vidIQ, and it uses AI to evaluate the search demand that's happening where people are typing in what they're looking for, and it evaluates that and the amount of content that YouTube has to serve up related to that search term, and it makes a tremendous difference on the views that you get on a video that you put on YouTube. So we'll show you a quick demo video of vidIQ.
If you've been struggling trying to find YouTube video topics that are currently trending on YouTube, you've made it to the right video. So vidIQ, you can also use their dashboard. They just recently updated it to help you come up with like keywords, top keyword ideas. There's even trending keywords that you can go after with some volume, also this competition, and how much it has changed in regards to the percentage in the search volume. So just looking at this here, you can look at the rising keywords. You can do this week, even just for the day today, and see if there's anything in your niche that you can go after. You can even change the topic here. So depending if you're on podcasting, if you have instrumental music, if you have thrillers, product reviews, sales, marketing, you can change the topic from here and then look at any of the top trending ideas. Another cool thing about vidIQ is you can look at your own top keywords that you could potentially make a video topic on and rank for on YouTube would be the top keyword opportunities. So from here, it's telling me that I can make videos on ChatGPT, YouTube automation, how to make money online, YouTube shorts, AI tools. And this is just another great way to kind of come up with ideas or trending ideas on YouTube using vidIQ.
All right. And it's that time. We're going to recap and wrap up. So the three-step framework to make sure that you are taking advantage of the opportunity of responding to trending topics. Trend awareness, so that you can spot what's happening right now, what's hot right now. 2, flexible planning. Keep your calendar adaptable so you can insert anything at any time, pre-record videos, and have a VA ready to implement for you quickly. And then 3, AI-powered creation. You can speed up the captions, the writing, the scripting, simply by having ChatGPT on your phone, hit the record button and say, can you create a 30-second script about my opinion about this topic? And boom, it'll give it to you just like that. A quick story before we wrap up. An advisor named Dean, who lives up the road from me in Los Angeles, complained that he doesn't like social media and he doesn't want to have to create content all the time. That's not why he got into the financial business. And what he ended up doing was grabbing a younger employee in his office who loves social media. And he said, you know what? Throughout the day, would you come into my office and just ask me questions and record it and then post that on social media for me? And now Dean and Alexis, who is his employee, have blown up on social media. Let me show you a sample of one of their videos.
Dino, how did DeepSeek just crash NVIDIA?
The whole market.
The whole market?
Okay. Yeah, in a nutshell, everything is just killed. Right
and this
now.
is what we were just talking about the other day, was
down,
DeepSeek.
600 points down on the NASDAQ.
Okay, so let's quickly throw up a screenshot of the results of this video, because this was just recently posted. And so if you can see, that video got 444, is that comments? No, that is likes, and 12,000 comments, 52,000 saves, and I think that's 50,000 shares. And that's somebody who doesn't like doing social media. He's just having somebody in their office ask questions of him throughout the day. So simple, keep it simple, and you can get relevant content out quickly. So, but before we go, I want you to share your opinion. And what's one trending story that you could post this week? Because I want you to take action. It's all about that, taking that first step, getting started. That's the hardest. What's one trending story that you could post an opinion about this week? Put it in the comments for me, please. Because then I know those people are the most serious. And then don't forget your AI-powered content calendar that we talked about in the beginning, so that you're ready and flexible enough to insert content quickly, and you have backup content when there's not trending content that you're going to give an advice about. or narrative about. Okay, and then finally, if you need help getting started because you feel like you keep procrastinating, you keep meaning to do it, but it's still not happening, and you need some accountability and somebody to help point you in the right direction, then I encourage you, we offer a free 15-minute coaching session. That's one-on-one with me or one of our other specialists who, and so go ahead, you can book I think the URL is, oh, there it is. Look at that. Thank you, Marie. Schedule15minutes.com, and I will give you 15 minutes to help get you started on posting relevant content that we can help you make go viral. So remember, speed and relevance beat perfection every single time. So make sure you show up when it counts and it matters most, and watch your engagement soar. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to actually pre-record content with pre-approved overlays and subject matter that can help you speed the process of creating viral posts. So until next time, stay visible, stay relevant, and I will see you in the digital world.